My name is Thomas Griffith. I'm a retired fire chief from Lancaster, Texas. I did 32 and a half years with the Lancaster Fire Department. I retired. I was retired a few years and then got back into emergency management. Just on accident, I happened to be going to lunch in high school with a friend of mine whose dad was the fire chief, and we ended up on a fire. I ended up on the end of a hose, 16 years old. And I said, this is what I need to do. I was a firefighter, paramedic. I came up through the ranks in the department. I held every position in the department, including fire marshal, assistant chief, training officer, and then chief of the department. So my story, I was a young paramedic. I had left the station in a fire department vehicle and was traveling in another city by myself. Didn't have any first aid equipment or anything. And I just happened across an accident. I pulled over, turned the lights on, got out. Several people, severely injured. I could tell it immediately. There were bystanders around. I was, barking orders about calling 911 and how many ambulances we needed and trying to treat as many people as I could. I remember a touch on my shoulder, and I turned around, and this lady thrust this kid into my arms. And what had happened was she was in the front seat with this child, and it was not in a restraint. And when the accident happened, I'm assuming, I don't know for sure, but based on the kid's injuries, she had, slammed the child into the dashboard. And so I took the child and put the child on the ground, and the child still had a pulse, but was not breathing. And I could really tell that its airway was really damaged and its neck was really damaged. And off and on, I was performing CPR with the loss and return of a pulse. Ambulances started showing up, and we got all the patients off. And I didn't think that much about that incident at that time. I went on to my CE and finished the CE, and really never processed a lot about that scene much after that. But what started happening to me, the first thing I noticed was I was really obsessive about my paramedic knowledge and studying, and then I started having family problems. I started having problems with my wife, and we were fighting off and on, and just lots of issues. And I was working a lot and trying to be the greatest paramedic there ever was. So I started having reoccurring dreams. And the dream was that I was holding my son down and starting an IV on him. And he was screaming and all of that. Come to find out, in the therapy, we talked about that particular incident, because he said, is there one incident that comes up? It was that one. We talked about the patient, and the patient was the same age as my son. Had the same hair color. He tasted the same. He also had the same Ninja Turtle tennis shoes. I never even realized I remembered all that, but it was there. I didn't realize that I had associated that child so much with my own child. My son is now 33 years old, but I still have difficulty with this. And so in my counseling, I was told every chance I got I should tell this story. And I've told this story many, many times to people, one-on-one, never to a camera. And I've never gotten through it without getting emotional. But I've had so many incidents with children over my career. But this was the one that hit home to me because it was my son, because I made him my son. And I did it unconsciously. I didn't even mean to. So telling the story has, believe it or not, has really helped me a lot over the years. After I realized what was going on and was able to disconnect, it was like weights coming off your shoulders. It was something that was almost immediate. You know, it could have taken a little bit for it to process, but it really was almost something immediate. And the first time I told the story, it was really hard to get through. It was almost immediate, and it was a complete relief. Watch out for the hooks, you know, those things that you attach to your family or loved ones and things like that. Watch yourself in overreacting to things and being obsessive compulsive about certain things. Watch yourself for any kind of warning signs of something that could be different, you know, because they'll creep up on you and over a period of time will just eat away at you. Another thing to watch out for are on those incidents where you have that feeling, man, it just didn't go right. It could have gone better. I should have done this. I should have done that. This shouldn't have happened. And you start second guessing yourself. And that's when you can let those hooks get you. I'm grateful for my family and a good career that I had, getting through it all in one piece.